Welcome to the second video. The first one kind of went down very well, had some nice feedback, so thank you very much for that. As promised in yesterday's newsletter, this video is about how you can get revenge on your ex or anyone you like, really. We started off using this technique to get revenge on a couple of businesses, which we managed to sort of take down as it happens. Very long story, but we were justified in our actions for the client, I have to say. Rather than just look at me randomly talk to you at a camera, what I've done, I've created a short PowerPoint presentation that's sort of animated and has my audio track over the back, which I shall play for you now, and I shall see you at the end.
Welcome to this short presentation. The reason it's short is because, quite frankly, it's not difficult. And I'm going to show you how you can get revenge on someone using Twitter. Now, that someone can be your ex, family members, a business, which is where we started doing this from. But essentially, there's a difference with Twitter and Facebook in that Facebook requires you to have an established friendship with the person you want to talk to, or in this case, talk about. Whereas Twitter has a follow feature, which allows you pretty much to follow someone and post messages onto their timeline and the timeline of their followers and so on, where you can pretty much wreak havoc on their lives. It's a very simple process. I shall show you how to do it. Okay, the first step, you need to create a new email account, Hotmail, Gmail, something like that, because you don't want to be using your own account. You go create an anonymous online identity. When you create your email account, try and use a genuine sounding name, not I hate you at hotmail.com, for example. I don't know, Stephanie McKenzie or Bob Crandall or something like that. Keep it a genuine name, because you can have a real genuine profile going along with all of this. Once you set your email account up, which is a piece of cake to do, head over to twitter.com and register a new account with them. Okay, obviously using the new email account that you just set up. There'll be sort of a verification process which takes sort of 5-10 minutes or so. And then within Twitter, you do want to create a genuine looking profile. Okay, so that means taking a photograph on there. Hasn't got to be of you, obviously. We do recommend you actually change your gender on your fake Twitter profile. So if you're a guy, change your Twitter profile to that of a female, and vice versa. Keep your Twitter profile as genuine looking as possible. So fill it right out. Favorite website, you could turn around and say, I don't know, Facebook, eBay, something like that. Obviously not Get Revenge on Your Ex. We'd love you to make that your favorite website, but it might give the game away slightly. Hobbies and interests, just create this online persona, and then once you've established this presence, if you like, on Twitter, then you can start to have fun. So the next step really is to follow your target. Okay, Twitter allows you to follow somebody else. It's a bit like a like on a Facebook. You want to know what they're doing. So everything that your target posts on their Twitter profile will appear on your Twitter wall. If you've got more than one target, follow them. Especially if it's a business, for example, there's a few key things you can do there. But essentially, by following that target, it allows you to converse in a more direct fashion with your target. If you didn't follow them and you just sent them a message through Twitter, it would appear on their private sort of inboxy system they have, and it's not really what we're trying to achieve here. We're trying to achieve maximum exposure. So, second step, follow your target. Now they may well follow you back, which would be a good thing, but if they don't, it's not the end of the world. The next step, however, you do want people to follow you back. So, step 3. Not only do you follow your target, you follow the people who follow your target. Now, let me explain. If I was to follow Bill Gates, for example, that's great. I've got a one-to-one link there. I'm sure Bill won't follow me back, but hey ho, you never know. But essentially, I follow Bill. Now, Bill in turn follows, I don't know, 20,000 other people or 100 other people or something like that. What you want to do, and you can see all this quite easily on the Twitter profiles, is you want to follow the people that your target is following. And the reason being is you're expanding your audience. Okay, this would include things like friends, colleagues, business contacts, and so on. Anyone motivational they follow, like celebrities and that sort of thing. But you follow them as well. Okay, so basically what you've now done is you followed your target, and you're following their followers. And this is all done by a click of a button through your fake profile. Okay. Step 4. Now at this point you've got two options. Okay. Option 1 is, which I'll explain a little bit later. You can wait a few days. Okay, because bizarrely, about 50% of the people who you follow online will follow you back. It seems to be some sort of courtesy thing rather. I don't quite get it, but hey ho. That's just me being sort of old-fashioned, I suppose. But people will follow you back. And the more people you're following, the more that back and so on, and the bigger the audience you get, because basically you're building an audience so you can expose your or this business you want to expose for being bad service, or whoever you want to get revenge on. The other option you've got once you started following people is you can start sending messages straight away, which I'll explain in a minute as well. We tend to recommend using option 1 first, really, because when they follow you back, you get a lot more exposure going on. Let me explain. Okay, option 1. If you wait for the people to follow you back, or more correctly, they're actually following your fake profile back, but your fake profile, if you remember, looks genuine. It's got a picture taken from, I don't know, Google Images of some random person celebrating a party, or maybe you've been off a news website, for example. You can sort of right click and save the image and that kind of thing. You can get a profile picture. But the people who follow these fake profiles back, now when they follow you back, whatever you tweet on your own timeline will automatically appear on their Twitter timeline. So for example, if Mr. Gates was so happy to follow me back, for example, if I were to turn around and say I think Microsoft products are a load of whatever, because Mr. Gates is following me, my post will automatically appear on his wall and anyone who sees his wall. Okay, so that's kind of, you're almost allowing permission. Now Twitter has a very quirky, I'm trying to think of the word now, quirky culture around it. So people will tend to follow you back if you follow them, unless say it is a big celebrity or something. So you can just send out random cack on your Twitter, rant and rave about whatever you like, and everyone who's following you, i.e. your target and the people they follow, so that's going to be their friends, their family, and business associates and that kind of thing, they will see your rants and raves. Okay, they can unfollow you anytime they like, but not before the damage has been done. Okay, so by waiting for these people to follow you back, you are creating an audience who want to hear what you're saying. Okay. The other option, as we said, before, is to not wait. Now, when you don't wait for someone to follow you back, you can send messages directly to these people, and you use it by using sort of the @username syntax. I'll explain it in a minute. You have to really follow these people first before you start sending messages, because if you don't, the messages that you send to them will go into a private inbox, if you like. Whereas if you're following them and send them a direct message, your message will appear on their timeline, and those who look at their timeline will also see those messages. So it's a bit more exposure. Basically, it's a bit more public. We do recommend wait for option number 1 because it's you get a larger audience. But if you can't wait, you want to sort of hit home, you want to attack people pretty much on very quickly, then use the @username. Okay. So what do you tweet? Well, to be honest with you, the world is your oyster here, quite frankly, because you are completely anonymous. You've got a false but real looking Hotmail account or email account. You've got a fake profile which has got a genuine photograph of some poor random soul that you've taken off the internet, and you've got a profile behind it, so it says what you like and your hobbies. Essentially, you are anonymous. Yeah, what am I going to say? You are anonymous. So therefore, you can do what you like. I mean, good things to tweet are things like shocking truths, for example, blatant lies, because let's be honest, people always look at the worst in each other. So if you're going to tweet about your ex-husband, you could turn around and say, he's got someone pregnant, or he's been sacked from work, or he's stealing from the company, that sort of thing. Don't go extreme, like say he's been arrested for paedophilia. Just make it kind of believable, because people will instantly believe the worst in each other, or at least nothing else, they'll question that process. You can also tweet photographs. Now we do a great fake photo service. I'm not going to here to plug our fake photo service, but we can do that, or you can create simple images with sort of hateful, exposing content. The things like a picture of Saddam Hussein, for example, hanging, and say, "I wish this Fred blogs," or something like that. You can create very, very simple photographs that you can tweet. It goes on your timeline, and those who are following you will see it. Obviously, you need to leave your name and your target every time. You can also create links to YouTube rants and revenge websites. Obviously, we can help here. We do have a great in-house developer who can create sites for you. But essentially, you just chuck as much crap out there as possible, because there is a saying, if you fling enough shit, some of it will stick, and that's what you're wanting to do. When we did this for a client, it's actually a corporate client, we managed to run their competitors out of business because of this. Might sound a bit nasty, I'm not going into the details, but essentially it was a justifiable act based on history that we were involved in. So yeah, you really can go for it, because you've got the followers, or you can send direct messages to these people. Anything goes. Okay. few tips that we sort of learned over the sort of past year or so while we've been doing this. Use auto tweeting software. At the bottom of this video, or if you're looking at the online version, the on-screen version rather, you'll see a resource box of the things we use. The best thing about auto tweeting software, I mean, it does lots for all sorts of things, but essentially the two things that you're wanting to look for is software that follows other people automatically, so it follows targets followers, you press of a button kind of thing, and more importantly, you can time release your tweets, so that way you can have an alibi. For example, if you're in a meeting or you're out in a party or you're at a disco or something like that at, let's say, 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon, well, how on earth could you be tweeting to your ex or your ex's friends how crap they are in bed, or the fact that they gave you an STD, or have got an STD, not didn't give you an STD, but they've got a TD, because you can use this time release function, so you get your alibi way in advance, and you can send hundreds of these things out at a time. The other great tip is to follow. Okay, this is really important. The more people you follow, the more followers you will get. Okay, and the more followers you get, the more people will see your message automatically. Okay, this is great if your target has a lot of followers. It really is. If my daughter, for example, not to bring her into this, but essentially she follows a lot of people online for her business that she's involved in. I think she's about 2,500 people that she follows. I think she's got more of yeah, she's got 2,500 people that she follows. By following all of these people, I can get probably 15 to 1,800 of those people to follow me, just by following her followers. Okay, she's also known in the area, but if it's a business, for example, I don't like Fred's the Bakers or Joe the Butchers or whatever, you can target geographically those who may well know your ex or may know the target that you're after. I hope that makes sense. Actually, sort of listening to myself speak, I'm kind of thinking maybe it doesn't, but essentially follow everybody, follow as many people as you physically can, and they will follow you back. The third great tip is to use hashtag to highlight your tweet. This is great if your ex's employer has their own Twitter account, because people will be searching for that company using hashtags or that term, and up will come your ex's name. For example, you can see here at Fred Blogs is cheating with at Jane Doe while working at hashtag McDonald's in Paris. Also not a genuine tweet, but that's the structure, the sort of thing you want to go with, because it says at Fred Blogs. Now that, in this case, because I'm male, I'm having a female persona online. So going to Fred Blogs, then that'll go on his wall, my exit wall if you like. He's having an affair with at Jane Doe, so everyone who follows Fred Blogs and everyone who follows Jane Doe will see this message. Okay, and anyone who searches for hashtag McDonald's will also see this message. So you can kind of see it's very easy to create a huge sphere or huge audience for basically your sort of little revenge campaign. I've probably bored you enough now, so I shall give you a quick summary. Essentially, to get revenge on someone using Twitter, I suppose it goes to say they must have a Twitter account, or their company must have a Twitter account, or someone they know must have a Twitter account, otherwise you have no audience here. But essentially you're going to create a new Twitter account, having first established a email account. You're going to follow your target. You're then going to follow whoever your target follows. And please excuse the typing mistake, and there's some grammar error on that one. Then you're going to wait. Okay, wait a while, wait for them to follow you back, and it could be a week or two for most people to start following you back. It could be 48 hours depending how active they are on Twitter. And then whatever you tweet will be automatically broadcasted to these people's timelines. Or get straight in and use the @username tweets to each individual person you're now following. Okay, not just your ex, but all the people you follow, and you can give individual messages if you do. And we do recommend using auto tweet software to time release your tweets, because that way you've got an alibi for, and you might be blamed. There's actually no proof whatsoever because you're out and about and you have witnesses to prove that you weren't there. Alright, so I hope that all makes sense. I know it's a little bit rushed, but apparently attention span on the internet these days is measured in milliseconds, so I want to try and give you a quick overview before you sort of disappear. Any questions you've got, please come to our website and ask away. Members forums, direct questions to us, and I'm sure we can help you.
Hi, welcome back. I hope you didn't find that presentation too arduous. It is a great technique. It really is very, very powerful, and we have a lot of fun with it, quite frankly. We will hopefully be launching a service where we can do a lot of the work for you, or on your behalf. There are a few technical issues about ensuring anonymity on so many people. On a one-to-one basis, actually, it's quite easy, as the presentation shows. But to do it en masse for sort of best part of 100,000 members that we have, it takes a bit more techie stuff. So we're trying to get there, but don't hold your breath, really, is what I'm saying. Use the tools that we recommend. It's a great way to get revenge. And if someone doesn't like you, or they unfollow you, or they block you, you can just repeat the whole process over and over again under a different Hotmail account. It's very simple. So we've put some links at the bottom here for some of the resources that we refer to in the presentation. Go ahead, have fun, and do let us know how you get on. Until the next time, cheers, bye.